What's up, family? Welcome back to the Stop Sinking Show, where we go from struggle to flow. We have this expression in my language, Hindi, that painfully describes the passing through of life. It translates to the cutting of life. The word is umar gat, where umar is age and can also be a way of saying the collection of years of your life. And gat is cut. It even sounds like the word cut and gat in my language come from the same root word. We use this expression to describe how life is just passed by. How unfortunately, some of us are just cutting our life, cutting through our life, as if you are in receipt of whatever life has given you, handed a bill for it, and you just cut the time as payment to pass through it. Just surviving through it, in other words. It is such a common expression that I never gave it a second thought. But the other day, I heard my mother say it, and it was us counting our blessings while witnessing the difficult lives of others. We were on a trip to the Holy River, and there are so many people that are asking for money or working all day to earn a basic living. And it wasn't exactly pity, but more of a recognition of how difficult life is, how difficult it can be for some people from the outside looking in, at least. And it became a trigger to count our blessings for the things that we don't have to worry about. And my mother said something like, how difficult it must be and sad that they just come and go, just cutting their life, here today, gone tomorrow, cutting through the years, bearing through them, surviving through them. And that moment sat with me because anytime I see someone else, even in despair, I can't help but think about myself, how in my own way, there is a poverty of living, a deficit of life, and how in many ways, I'm also just cutting through the years of my life, just burning through the days, hoping no major problems pop up, just trying to survive another day, which in itself is barely surviving, barely an experiencing of life, mostly just another day of my life checked off, which is sad to think about given how finite this whole thing is. I can't help but think about how many of us are just passing through life. How, if we're honest, we're all almost just following a script, a predestined plan, predetermined parameters. To do this by this age, earn this amount of money, measure your success by these metrics, measure your value by that. It's all a game that we've opted into without actually seeing the opt-in screen. It's not exactly that you can opt out of the worldly games either. You need money because it means survival. Need companionship because it means survival. Need purpose because it means survival. But how much of it is actively chosen versus a desperate need to survive? And if it's a game just of survival, how much of that can you call a life? That's not really living either, because it's not exactly the thing that you're doing, but what's the meaning behind it? You can play the games without it being for survival. James Hollis would say, it's not so much what you believe, feel, or do, it's what it's in service to inside of you. And so it's not the opting in or opting out of these games that matter, but whether you are playing the game or it's playing you. If you're not defining the rules of the game, if you're just showing up to play it because you've been taught it's survival, then what it's serving inside of you will never be satiated, because there is no end to survival games, or there is only one end, the end of survival itself. What would the opposite of just passing through life look like? Deliberately deciding what you want it to look like. Even in the most extreme poverty, when you are unable to affect your environment, you can affect your mind state, your peace, your chemical composition. You can decide to bear it gracefully. You can remain optimistic about the future, connected to what is larger in this moment, connected to the fact that even in the smallest of ways, you can leave a measurable impact onto others in the way that you interact, in the smile that you carry, in the words that you choose, in your heart that can be felt. It's not that you need some grandiose purpose to live, but you need to live. That's a verb, an active participation of life, instead of life happening to you, instead of just passing through it. Decide to live. I love you, family. Stay true, always. I see you on the next show.